Hello there and welcome into the latest edition of ESPN FC. Kay Murray and Shaka Hislop here with you in the studio. We've got lots of football to talk about. We have Napoli taking on Barcelona in the Europa League. Also the game between Arsenal and Wolves in that top four battle in the Premier League. But we must start with UEFA's statement reacting to Russia's invasion on Ukraine today. UEFA said they share the international community's significant concern for the security situation developing in Europe and strongly condemns the ongoing military invasion in Ukraine. As the governing body of European football, UEFA is working tirelessly to develop and promote football according to common European values such as peace and respect for human rights in the spirit of the Olympic Charter. We remain resolute in our solidarity with the football community in Ukraine and stand ready to extend our hand to the Ukrainian people. We are dealing with this situation with the utmost seriousness and urgency. Decisions will be taken by the UEFA Executive Committee and announced on Friday. Julien Laurens is joining us now. Jules, we'd just like to talk about the impact of Russia's attack on Ukraine and what it means and what we know so far in football matters.
Yeah, it's a really good debate really to have and subject to address, Kate, because as we know, for example, the facts are that, for example, the Ukrainian league has been suspended for at least 30 days, so no more games for the likes of Shakhtar Donetsk and Dynamo Kiev and all those teams in the league. We saw the Brazilian players, by the way, of those two clubs meeting and being all together and making a video saying they wanted to go home and to be able to leave Ukraine and not being in Ukraine during the invasion of the country by Russia. Now we're waiting on UEFA, of course, and on FIFA and see what they're doing. There's a lot of things they can do, of course, in terms of sanctions. I think a lot of people expect them to be quite tough and should be tough. Gazprom, as we know, is a big sponsor of the Champions League, for example, of the Europa League. It's a big sponsor for Schalke, who today, the German club decided to take off the Gazprom sponsor off their shirt. Gazprom, as we know, is very close to the President Putin in Russia. What are UEFA going to do with Gazprom, for example? What are they going to do for the World Cup qualifiers and the playoffs? Russia and Ukraine are both involved in those playoffs. One play against Scotland, the other one against Poland, and then potentially in the final of the playoff as well. Can those games happen? Should those games happen? Should Russia be allowed to play those games? What about their clubs? We saw Zenit playing and being knocked out tonight by Betis, being allowed to play with Gazprom on their shirt as well. What should happen to Spartak, who've qualified already for the next round of the Europa League? So all those questions, UEFA will have to address them very quickly. And again, I have to repeat, a lot of people expect them to take tough sanctions towards the Russian clubs and Russia football in general.
And obviously that includes the Champions League final venue, Jules. Yeah,
which is the other big one, of course. This one seems already pretty much agreed that there's no way St. Petersburg, who is supposed to organize the Champions League, to host the Champions League final on May 28th, will be allowed to do so. It's very much expected from UEFA, and certainly sources have told ESPN that they're looking at another venue. It should not be Wembley, that Wembley is not considered as a potential venue for this Champions League final this season. More Madrid, Lisbon, Amsterdam, Paris, Milan. I mean, there's a lot of cities who filled all the criteria of what UEFA want for a Champions League host for the final, of course, but it looks very, very unlikely right now that St. Petersburg and Russia will be allowed to have the Champions League final.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.